Hey, what's going on, guys? We are live again. Good morning. Hope everyone's doing well. I'm going to be starting a campaign today. So yesterday, or if you're watching this, not today, but I did a solo stream of Imperial Settlers, and we're back with another stream of Imperial Settlers, but this time we're going to dip into the campaign mode. So I'm not sure the origin story behind the campaign mode, but I believe it was released somewhat into the life cycle of Imperial Settlers. By Ignacy and team, and it was their way of kind of getting a little bit more value out of the game. I mean, there's already a lot of value in the game anyway, but they wanted to kind of give you something else to go for. And this kind of started the idea for what's coming out this week as of this recording, The Rise of the Empire, which is a full campaign mode. While I wait for that, I thought I'd try this. I did pre-order the Rise of the Empire because it seems like a cool idea, kind of taking one faction through multiple quests and campaigns and things. So we'll get to that when I get that. But for now, we're going to start this little this campaign mode, and it's completely it's a solo campaign. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So if you're not familiar with Imperial Settlers Solo, I'll try to explain as I go along. But if you're able to watch the video prior to this, you kind of have an idea of how it works. The differences here, there are some. For the most part, you're playing the same solo game as you normally would, where instead of 5 rounds, there's now 4 rounds. So we'll be doing 4 rounds per game. You play as many games as you want in this campaign. At the end of each game, you're going to have a chance to buy some achievements, attract new provinces, and get some benefits from those provinces. So we're going to get to that in a second. So I have it right here. You can find it on Portal Games' website. I believe they have it on the BGG file section as well. But I made a little doc out of it so I can kind of click through it for you guys. So basically, it kind of talks about what you're doing. It's going to have events as well, which we won't get to in this game, but the events will come into play every subsequent game that we have an empire. I'm sorry, that we have a province. So I'm going to play the game as normal. There's an empire sheet right here, which kind of tracks our progress, and I kind of just made it up so I can type here and things like that. So I named my empire Superboard, obviously, Superboard Sunday. And we have a border faction. Now that's new in the game. So border faction in this game is basically kind of what it says. It's a faction that sits outside of yours. So I'm going to be playing this campaign as the Barbarians. It's just a faction I'm used to, and I may as well continue with that. You set up a border faction. Now all they're there for is every production phase, you flip over the top card of the deck, and you are able to now make a deal with this card if you want to. And if you don't make a deal with that card, when it's time to clean up, you just discard it. So that's what the border faction does. And I picked the Romans as my border faction right here. You simply take all of their faction cards, you shuffle them up, and you put them to the side. And you're not interacting with them at all. You're only using them during the action phase. When you flip over the top card, which we'll just do right now because it'll just give us an idea of what we need. And you're able to make a deal with the card. Not do anything with the text here, but just make a deal. So we'll keep that there. Kind of remind myself to try to use it. So you set up the border faction, and you set up the game as usual. So once I minimize the screen, you'll see it's the same setup as usual. You have your stack of solo attack cards. Each round, they're going to attack twice. Things like that. Getting back to the rules really quick. We're going to skip this events part for now because the events come in later games, and then you're just going to play. So you're going to be playing game as normal. You have provinces, which you get at the end of the game. Every time you win a game, you're going to roll a dice. You have to supply your own dice, but they suggest 2 d10s, 1 d20. At the end of the game, if you win, you roll a d20 for a province, and here's the province table. And each one of them is you're basically inspiring them. You now have a trait from that province. There is a cost to control it. So at the end of the game, you're going to have to pay this victory points. And at the end of each I believe it's the end of each cleanup phase, you need to give them an upkeep cost. Let me look at that really quick. An upkeep cost. You must pay to keep your province in order. At the end of each round, you must pay the upkeep cost of your province. And if you don't, I believe it adds to your control cost. With the control cost, you must pay this value in victory points at the end of the game before buying achievements. Achievements are pretty cool, and there are plenty, which we'll get to right now. I found there's a lot. So these are events. Then we have a bunch of achievements, which you can look at after. So if once you win the game, you get to choose your province, figure out their trait for the next game, and then you get to choose an achievement, and that's based off of victory points. So victory points carry over each game, and victory points will let you buy these achievements. So we'll get to those if we win. Then we record everything as normal in our campaign sheet right here. If I'm missing anything crazy, province table, you note them in the empire sheet. You may conquer the province once. Fine. Go. And achievements, you add them here. That's pretty much the way to go. I got everything going on here. So the achievements will help, obviously, add some more stuff to your production phase in most cases. You have production, so you have extra production which is nice to be able to get some more things. During the cleanup of each round, you must pay the upkeep cost of your province. As I said, we don't have a province yet. If you can't, you lose that province. You update your empire sheet because you couldn't get them on your side, so they left you. Each time you lose a province, your empire becomes harder to control. Add a +2 control cost to any other province. So basically, you can't pay the upkeep of one province. The other provinces are like, hey, I don't know if I can trust this guy, so let's give him 5. It's 2 more victory points to keep us in line. So once we start getting multiple of these, it'll become a little harder to kind of upkeep and control. That's game to game. There's no limit to the amount of games in this. So we're just gonna play games until we kind of get a feel for it and see how this goes. So I'm gonna minimize this screen for now, but here's the kind of the campaign sheet we're working with here. Again, the border faction is Romans. We have no extra production here or provinces yet. We'll get those at the end of this game if we win. Any events that happen and payments will just log here. We'll get rid of this screen for now, and we'll just start playing the game as normal. So I have it set up here as you would a solo game. Got my border faction here, or sorry, I got my faction here, my border faction over here, and we're just gonna get going. So start the solo game. You shuffle up the solo action deck here, the attack deck. You're gonna flip over the first card. So I'll put this over here. It's a food. Get to the attacking in a in a little bit. If you haven't seen how it plays out, you will as we go on. So to start the normal game, you draw yourself 2 faction cards, 2 common cards. You also draw yourself 1 extra faction card. We're gonna take a look at these. You keep these. I'm just taking a look at these to see what else I can probably get. Barbarians are very good in recruiting people. Every round they're going to get 5 people, and then you can store those people, and then you can use the people to get resources. So they're a very people-heavy faction. Pretty easy to learn as far as this game is concerned. I don't know if they have varying difficulty, but it's a nice one to start with, I believe. And again, the goal of the solo game is to build more faction locations than your opponent does collect locations. So every round he'll be getting at least 2. So at the end of the game, he'll technically have 8, but through the course of him attacking, he might be able to get more of mine, and through the act of raising, I can take his. So as long as I'm keeping up with that, we should be in a good position here. So in order to start the game now, we're going to grab 4 these common cards. We're going to choose one. See which one we'd like here. Point for each gray building. Do I have any grays here? No. Round building, nice. Gotta grab this wood storage, I believe. No, I like this this pig farmer. Spend a worker and a food to gain 2 stars. I'll keep that. And then you shuffle these up. You'll get this one. He took the carpenter's workshop from me. So that's his location for now. Then I choose one of these two. I'm going to take this wood storage, which is, I get a building bonus of 1 star for each brown building. And that's additionally draw an extra card. So there we go. Then that'll go here for now. And so for this round, there's only 4 rounds, but for this round, I have the opportunity to raise these buildings. And in order to raise them, I need 2 raise tokens. And raising them just means getting rid of them. So now he only has less cards to count towards the end of the game. But we'll keep those there for now, and then we'll get to the attacking in a little bit. Now I'm going to do our production phase, as normal in the game. So I'm going to get my 5 workers. My 1 raise token, and I'm going to ignore the shield because the shield doesn't do anything in a solo game. So I get 5 workers, a raise token, and a shield. But I'm not going to do the shield because the shield doesn't matter in solo games. So why have the token out if I can't use it? In my mind. So I'm already seeing it's going to be tough to start out with because we're only dealing with 4 rounds. So I'll be getting a lot, not a lot less, but I'll be getting less points than I do in a normal game, which is 5 rounds. I'm going to try our best, you know? I have to worry about the faction locations, which I'll bring up to the front. It already cost a ton to build. I need a lot of stone. I need to generate some stone somehow. They're all action cards too. They're not production cards, which is... I'm going to... Well, I'm going to try this in order to win the game. I'm going to try to do this. I'm going to make a deal with one of these cards here. It's going to be... I'm going to discard this. I'm going to make a deal with this card. So I'm going to spend 2 workers to get a food. I'm going to use that food to make a deal. So I'm going to make a deal with this card here, which is, it's going to get me a raise token every production. I get that right now as well. Now I'll get an extra raise token every production, which, good. Will help me raise over here. There's a stone right there, which I would like to use. I would like to attain. I didn't get a lot of production cards, which is interesting. I got all features. That's never great. I'm going to raise. They send my 2 swords to raise this one right here, which gets rid of it. But I get the raise bonus also, which is a coin and a wood. I can use that coin for any of the 3 main resources. I can use a coin for food, a wood, or a stone. Can't use it for anything else. A point, yeah, there's a lot of point generation, which I don't really need at the moment. I'm going to spend 2 workers to get a card from this deck. Hoping to get some production. See, I'm gonna have to build something just to destroy it, so that's fine. We'll do... I'm gonna build out this action here. Spend 1 worker and 1 food to gain 2 points. So I'm actually gonna do... I might just do that right now, but I'm gonna spend it 2 wood. So I have a wood here. Then I have a coin which I'll use in place of stone. I built that. I only have a worker and a food left. I don't have, these cards aren't really that great to build right now, so I'm actually going to spend the worker and the food that I have left over to get 2 points. We're on the board. That's all I can do. So kind of a rough first round. So now what we're going to do is the attack phase. So this card that he has left over is going to go to his kind of collection pile over here. We'll just put it under here, or we'll do it sideways this way. And now we attack. So far he's looking for food, which I didn't look out for. So when you attack, when the AI attacks, you got to flip over a card, and then you look at the raise to gain of all your locations over here, the raise to gain fields. And if that matches, then you look at the card behind it, and if those two match, win. Or win. The AI attacks it and gets rid of it. So they actually might get rid of this round. So we'll flip this first card over here. They're looking for any raise to gain that's a card. There's no card icon on this, so we survived that attack. And then a point, and there's no point here. Just a person and a food, so we survived both attacks. That's good. Gonna move the round marker. We're gonna discard this border faction card to the bottom, and I will draw the top one of it. We can make a deal with it at any time that we want. So I can make a deal here to get a worker. And then we're going to get my one faction card as per the rules. Action. This one's a good one though. Spend one worker to draw 2 cards. Keep one and discard the other, so that's not bad. I'm going to draw 4 cards. I need production. And I'm going to take one and then see what else we can do. These are all production. Or these are all action cards. Oh no. Not great. There's a production one here, which fine. Production, I'll get 1 gold for each golden building in my empire, so this one will count for it, so that's something. Shuffle these up. He'll get this one. Then I'll get to choose one. Another pig farmer, which I have right here. But I will grab this joiner, which is spend a worker and a wood to get 2 points. Look at this. Now we'll do my production here. So I'm going to grab my raise token from my deals, along with my regular raise token, as well as 5 workers. The luck of the draw on this one, so I don't have any production buildings, which is gonna... I might win, but I don't know if I will get it. So far I'm losing because he has 1 card to my 0 over here. But that can change. I just have to get some buildings out. So let's do that. Let's get a building out there. Have at these. Okay. We need some raise to get another person and a food here. And raise, get a point and a wood. I would like the wood, so I'm going to go ahead and raise. Well, can I raise any of these cards? Raise to gain 2 wood. Actually, that might be raise my own cards. Then I wouldn't be getting rid of his cards. Make a deal. So I can only make a deal for a worker, another card, another raise token. That might be good. I'm going to try something. So we'll do... I'm going to raise my own card. I'm going to spend a sword. Raise this. Which will get me a worker, a food. card a lot. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. I'm not going to take it back. No take backsies. I want to get this one built. So I'm going to spend 4 workers to get 2 wood. There. Then I'm going to build this action card. This mission is spend 1 worker to draw 2 cards, keep 1 and discard the other one. And then I have to destroy this building. Spend that 2 wood. Okay. I'm going to spend this 1 apple to raise my own or to make a deal with my own faction location here to get another raise token, which gives me that right now. Then I'll be making 3 raise tokens so far in production. I'm going to raise one of my own cards again, get 2 wood. I'm gonna use that 2 wood and these 2 people as stone to build this production out here. This Merchants Guild will give me a gold each round for each gold building I have. That's something. Got 1 raise token left, and I'm going to lose it if I don't use it, so let's get it going. I'm going to raise this pig farmer to get a worker and a food. I'm going to use this food to actually raise, or I'm sorry, to make a deal with my border faction here, which is an extra worker, which I'll get right now. That actually helped because make a deal cards are only on your faction. So if you keep making a deal with your own faction cards, you're going to be running low on faction locations. So it's good to have these guys to kind of make deals with, so you're not wasting your own faction cards. I'm now seeing that. So I'm going to get that worker now. I have 2 workers left. Things I can do. I can look at some cards. I'm going to spend a worker here to draw 2 cards. This is nice. Okay, I get to keep 1. This one is 2 wood in a building to build, and I would get a raise token and a worker, or production of 2 workers for 1 wood. So, like that one. So I'll discard this one. One more worker left. I don't think I can do anything with it, but I can store workers as part of my faction, so I'm going to store it. They're going to end up getting 2, so they're already up. We have 2 more rounds to beat that. So I think we're going to be on a good path to get there. So he'll attack. He's only attacking this side, so his first attack is a wood. And there's no wood icon here. We're looking for gold and stone. Then a card, which is not up here. So his attacks fail. We go to cleanup phase. That's already gone. That was round 2, so now we're in round 3. We'll do my production. So from my deals that I've made so far, I'm going to get a worker and 2 raise tokens. I'm also going to get 1 gold because I only have 1 yellow building. But a gold, again, is a wild resource, which, big fan. I'm going to get 5 workers and another raise token. Again, I'm not getting the shield because the shields don't do anything in the solo mode. That, and this worker comes back. Like, what's up, guys? Then we draw the top card of the border faction. And now we can make a deal to produce a stone if we'd like to during this round. We'll now draw I get my one faction card to start the game. This one is a feature. It's nice. I can make a deal to produce wood, which might be good for the last round, but I gotta get going on these faction things. Hoping to get some production. Be nice to get some endgame production. So we draw 4 cards from the common deck. I like this. We got a free ruins is always good. So it's a building that's free to build out. You basically destroy, you put out a destroyed building, take the person that was in that building pretty much, and then you can use this building in later turns to flip them to foundations. So I always like that card. Then you shuffle them up. Spend 1 worker to gain 2 stone. Want that card. I should look at that card more often, or more closely, because that's a good card to have, a good action. Especially with a faction like mine that has workers. There's a village to get more workers, so I'm going to do that. Now we're good to go. We are in round 3. We have 1 more round after this. We're trying to build more locations than this guy. So in order to do that, I think I have to use my swords to I should have a 3rd token here. Trying to use my raise tokens to get rid of some of those cards. Well, first I'm going to start out by putting out this free feature, these ruins. Will get me a worker. Now I have 2, 4, 6, 8 workers. Let's see. Two village cards. Gets me. This one's more hot. This is higher octane, and it's a faction location. So I'm going to build this feature here for a wood, or no, sorry, production here for a wood, which I'll use for this coin for. As the sun shines in on the game, it knows it's my time for a victory. I get to pay a wood. I paid with the coin. I'm going to get 2 workers for it. Then each round I'll get 2 more workers. They have a common, can't really see it, but there's a common location, a common village, but it only gives you 1 worker each round instead of 2, which the faction location does. So, temple. Temple gives me 4 points, but doesn't do much else. It's just a feature. I'm gonna draw some more faction location. I'm gonna put 1 guy here to get 2 cards. I'm gonna draw 2 faction cards. See what I can get. Spend 2 workers to gain 2 swords is always good. The fighting ring, I like. Each time you raise, you get a point. I like this one here. I like the fighting ring. I think I'm going to try to build now. So I'm going to do 2 workers for a stone, 2 workers for a wood. I'm going to build this fighting ring in action. Put that right there. It's going to cost me that stone and the wood. It's going to cost me a building to demolish, so I'll demolish that. Now I have this action available, so I can spend 2 workers to get 2 raise tokens, which I could then use to smash these guys. While I'm here, let's spend 2 tokens here to raise this. Get this out of his hand. I'm going to grab a worker and a stone for doing that. Now he only has 1. the cards that went away from round to round, I can't attack. I can only attack the 2 cards he has every round. Let's see. Spend 2 workers to get a card, which seems like a lot. I have a bunch of Imperial. I have a stone, but I didn't really need that stone. Should have gotten this instead. But again, I'm not going to go back on my decisions. I should have gotten this wood and that food. So then I could have made a deal to get a stone later. That's the decisions you make in this game, which is cool. Well, I'll do that right now. So I'm going to spend 2 workers to gain 2 raise tokens. Then I'll use those 2 raise tokens to raise this brewer, which happily I like beer a lot. So I'm going to get a wood and a food. Now we're getting somewhere. So now I've raised all of his locations this round, so he's not going to get any. And I'm close to building something. I need to build something. I have one more round, too. Jeez. Get more people. I spend this wood. It's probably a bad idea, but I'm going to spend this wood for this village. It's going to get me a worker now, and then it's going to get me, for building it, it's going to get me another worker. Then it's going to give me 1 worker each round. That's 2 right now. We have 1 more raise token, which I can use to raise these 2 for more wood. Yeah, I'll raise this one for wood and a point. The other one was also wood and a point. I'm gonna group these up into 2 to see what I have going on here. I can also make a deal with them for a stone. If you get me a stone now, you know what? I might actually do that. So I'm going to make a deal with the Romans. I'm gonna give them some food, and they're gonna give me a stone. That's gonna give me a stone next round, which could help for building something. I get a stone now. And I'm actually gonna do this. I'm gonna use 2 workers to get a stone. And I'm gonna build this temple here. I'm gonna get 4 points for building it, but let's build it first, because you can't get rewarded if you don't build it yet. So let's get my 3 stones and a building. So I'm gonna choose this one here. I'm gonna build this feature. My building bonus, just 4 points. We're at 7 now. 2 cards left, a bunch of workers, so actually not that bad. Could have been worse. I'm gonna be getting a stone next round, which is nice. Once each time I raise, I get a point, which is nice. Could build this fortress if I wanted to, get me 2 points. But I'd have to lose this, which it's too early for that. So I'm gonna spend 2 workers to get another faction card. That's nice. It's a spend 2 resources to get points. Let's see if I can make it happen. I'll just do 2 more workers for another card. Ah, that's a big one. Dark Chapel. I don't think I'll be able to get that one this round. I only have one wood. Only way I can use one wood is if I wanted to build this barter, but I'd have to lose this production here, which isn't that bad. It would get me another faction location out there, but at the cost of losing one resource this round. Let's try it, because the goal of the game is to have more locations than he does, so I'm going to do that and just see how this plays out for me. I'm going to build this barter location, which is a action. It's going to cost me this one wood and this building. So he's not, I mean, he's going to draw the 2 attack cards just to get through the motions, but he's going to be attacking nothing. I'm going to lose this raise token if I can't use it. The only thing I can raise is this card. Give me a wood that I can't use, and it would give me a point, so I'm going to stop there. He'll attack twice. Nothing to attack. Swinging and missing. So now we get to go to the 4th and final round. We're going to do cleanup right now. I like the idea of making deals with border factions. It's a really neat system. I like that. I'm going to get my 1 faction card to start. Saboteur. Oh, this is nice. Spend 1 worker to get any 1 resource from the enemy. So he has 3 cards. We have 3, 4, 5. So if he fails at attacking, we're going to win. Then we'll see what we do with the campaign. Yeah, so to get the 1 card, now we're going to do 4. I should do my production now while we're here. Do wood. I'm sorry, a stone. I grabbed stone and say wood, but whatever. Stone, worker, raise token. That's from my deals. Then my production over here gives me 2 workers. I also get 1 more raise token, as well as 5 workers. All right. Bunch of stuff going on here. Now I'm going to draw the 4 cards from the common deck here. Choose 1 and then see what he wants. Oh, this is good. I'm definitely keeping this. The ruins. It's always a good one to keep. I don't even care what else we have here. So this. I'm gonna get this card. Farmers at work. Production. Choose one of your. Doesn't really matter right now for production. So I'm glad I didn't build this one because there's no production phase next round because this is the last round. Even though I would get. Actually, that's not that bad. Because when you build a production building, you still get stuff now. So I should have been more fair. Again, sorry for the sunlight. Sun is rising here in lovely New Hampshire. I'm going to get this card, and he'll get this one. I picked one that gives me 1 more worker, or 2 workers, so. Good. All right, final round. Let's see what we can do. The goal is now to get points. I'm pretty confident we're going to beat the game, but now we have to get points to carry over and get stuff, so. Let's see what we have here. I'm going to start by putting this feature out here to build a build the ruins. This is an easy one to build. I can just get a wood, which I can right now. So I'm going to spend my 2. Spend 2 raise tokens to get rid of one of these, which will be, I'm going to get a worker and a coin for doing that. I'm going to spend 2 workers here to get 2 raise tokens. I'm going to use these 2 raise tokens to raise the other location here. Get another worker and another coin. So now I've definitely won the game, because even if he attacks twice and gets 2 of my buildings, I'll still have more than him. That's what I want. I'm going to spend 1 worker here to draw 2 faction cards. And I get to keep 1 and discard the other. Keep 1, discard the other. Oh, did I discard the wrong one? Yep. I looked at the card, I'm like, wait, that's not the one I wanted. So I'm going to spend this coin right here as a wood to build another village, which will get me 2 people right now. See, now I'm wanting those cards from earlier rounds that were giving me points. But in order to win the game and get your faction locations out, you need to get rid of some cards in your deck here. I should have built these gallows first, because each time I raise, I would get a point. Should have looked at that. Spend 2 resources to gain 2 points, so that'll be fine. For now, I should do something with these people. Turn them into stuff and do things with them. I'm going to turn this coin into a wood. I'm going to build this saboteurs over here for the wood. This ruins. I'm not sure if I got the ruins. I'm not sure if I got the worker when I placed the ruins, but we're going to just continue on as if we did. Now we're just trying to get points here. I'm going to do 2 cards to gain, or 2 workers to gain a card. That's an easy one. I think I can't build that because I don't have anything. I don't have a common card I can put out there, so that might be tough to do. I can spend 1 worker to get a resource from the enemy. I can make something happen with that. I'm going to spend this worker here to get a wood. I'm going to use the wood and the stone to build this production, which is a town, which gives me 2 workers right now. What I didn't do, and I should do right now just to see if it help, is flip that over. It's a builder. I can make a deal with this card to get a stone. I have a bunch of workers. I get 2, 4, 8 workers. Meaning I can get 4 resources to do something. If I want to build another faction location, I can probably get that done. Yep, so I'll be able to do that right now. So 2, 4. At the very least, I can build this one. But I want to see what else is out there. See if anything gives me some extra points or something from this deck here. Oh, but it is cheaper to build. It gets me a raise token right now. Let's do that. I'm going to do these 2 workers as a stone. And then destroy this building. Build this stone pit here. Which gets me a stone, and it gets me a raise token. Okay. Something. And raise this card that I have here for a wood and a point. Now I have a wood and a stone. If I can get a building out somehow, I don't think it's possible. I can get be able to get another faction location out there, which is 2 points. This is pretty cheap to build. I just need a location out there. So I'm going to, in desperation, try these 2 cards here. Or try these 2 workers here. To get another card. Hopefully, another common card, rather. And it's not that easy to build. So that's fine. I can figure something out. Cost 2 wood, which would cost me that. I would only have a stone left, so it was worth a shot. So instead, what I'll do is I can't really build anything else. Could build this, which would get me a point. But instead, I'm going to discard these 2 resources here in the barter station to get 2 points. I only have 2 people left. Can I do anything with 2 people? Really? I can do... Can't do anything with 2 people, I don't think. I can store them, but it does nothing for me. I get another card or a resource. This would be good if, in case I had to upkeep a province, but I don't have to. I think I might have to do it. He'll attack twice, but then he's going to swing and a miss. I don't have any buildings over here. And we'll count them up. So he has 3 cards to my 3, 6, 8. So he's going to lose. I win, and now we count points. So it's 2 points per card on this side, so 16 points. Gives me 26, which is kind of a low score for sure. 16 points. I had no other cards over here, so I ended the game with 26 points, which I don't think is enough to... I think it's enough to do anything with, but we'll go to the window here. We'll say... At the end of each game, you'll be able to purchase achievements. No, province. At the end of each game, if you win, you have conquered a new province. So I got to roll 1d20, then determine the traits of your new province, and then equip them. All right, so let's pull up this table here. Hopefully you can see it. I'm going to roll a d20 and see which province I've just conquered. Province 12. The rich lands. So now I increase my production by +1 wood or 1 stone permanently. Ooh, that's nice. It's gonna cost me $5 to control, or 5 VP to control them. Do I have to pay that now, I wonder? I think it's for the next game. It says affect future games. So I get to choose right now whether the next games I do increase wood or stone. Mine are very wood heavy. Very wood heavy faction. A lot of these are pay to build as wood and some are stone, but so I'm going to go wood just because it requires a bunch of wood. So in order to do that, I'm going to mark it by this. Now I get 1 wood permanently. Nice. I'm also going to type this in here. Let me grab my keyboard. +1 wood. Permanently. 5 E. Was there an upkeep cost? Upkeep cost for the rich lands? Oh, there is none, so that's perfect. So they gave me a wood for the rest of my campaign, and I owe them nothing each round, which is perfect. So no upkeep costs. I'll just do that because it seems kind of... None. Perfect. So we did that. And now I'm going to mark my victory points, which I'll just put. I have to make. I start at 26 next game, which I'll probably do later on. I don't have to pay anything now, but at the end of the next game, I'll have to spend 5 to then give him to keep this rich lands control. I get to start with a wood. That's very good. And then we'll start with an event next time. We can check the achievements table. I don't think I get an achievement. Yeah, the achievements are all here. There's 20 and 25. So if I wanted to get these, so either for the next game, I can. I might not be able to read this, but it's right here. For the next game, I can increase my production by +1 wood, stone, food, or worker. Not bad. Or diplomacy. Each production phase reveal 2 from the top of your border faction instead of 1. You may make a deal with one of these cards during the action phase. Discard the other. That's good for 25. I'm going to save my points because I feel like these are going to be bigger for next time. So that's it. So again, quick recap. Won the game with 26 points. I'm going to carry those over to the next game, and I now have conquered the Rich Lands province, which gives me a +1 wood permanent production, which is awesome. I don't have to pay them anything each round, which is good. So that's how you play the campaign. So probably later on today or tomorrow, I'll continue with game 2. But this kind of gives you a feel of how the campaign works, and you play as many as you want until it's become uncontrollable. But for now, thanks guys for watching, and I will talk to you guys later.